there. So today I'm going to be making a maple butter crispy chicken biscuit using the Carbquik mix. But if you are doing more of like a strict keto thing, feel free to substitute in your favorite keto biscuit recipe. And then I'll show you how I'm making the crispy chicken in a little bit. So I'm going to just get started by mixing up the Carbquik and putting the biscuits out, and then I'll be popping those in the oven at 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so yeah, I'm just about to pop these biscuits in the oven. Again, that's 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes. If you're using the Carbquik mix, it has the instructions on the box for the biscuit mix. And if you're using like a keto biscuit, then follow, that kind of instructions. Alright, so while the biscuits are still baking, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the chicken patty mix. And it's going to be along the same lines as like a chaffle type of recipe, but with chicken. Kind of like my boneless buffalo wings video. It's about the same kind of recipe. So you'll need mozzarella or any kind of cheese of your preference and eggs. Now, how much of each of those you need will be dependent on how much you're cooking. I'm just going to be making a small amount, just enough for like a couple of biscuits or a couple of the chicken patties. So as you can see, I have some rotisserie chicken breast meat that I have kind of like shredded up and cut into like small pieces. This is going to be enough for my purpose. If you're wanting to make more, obviously just increase the recipe. It's pretty simple. You can't really go too wrong with it. So for this amount, 1 egg should suffice, and then just enough cheese. I'll show you about how much cheese I end up adding. Okay, so you want to be pretty generous with the cheese. Obviously don't go like crazy overboard, but the cheese is what is mainly what produces that crispy outer shell for this mixture, so you do want to make sure you have enough cheese. And then, like I said, this should require just 1 egg. Okay, so once you've got your mixture all mixed up, this is what mine looks like. For this recipe, I'm going to be using my little dash to make the chicken patties. You do not have to use that. You can use the oven. I would say, I think I've done it before at 350 and flipped for each side, but I actually think that for a crispier outer shell, you might want to go with like 400 for about 10 minutes or so and flip it. Just keep an eye on it. You'll see whenever it starts to brown and crisp, that's whenever you know it's about ready. So yeah, for this time I'm going to be using the chaffle, but I've done these in the oven before and they turned out perfectly. So okay, so while I'm waiting on that to finish and the biscuits, I'm going to go ahead and make the maple butter. So I have about half a stick of butter softened, and I'm just going to be adding some of the Chalk Zero maple syrup to that until it reaches the right consistency, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is what the maple butter looks like. And again, you can sweeten this to your liking. If you like, something that's extremely sweet, feel free to add as much of the maple syrup as you want. If you just want like a hint of sweetness, then go a little bit lighter. This probably worked out to about 2-ish tablespoons for a half a stick of butter. So do with that what you will. But again, this recipe and most of my recipes are extremely easy to modify and extremely hard to get wrong. So just definitely eyeball it. You can even taste test a little bit of the butter just to see if it's sweet enough to your liking or not, and go from there. Okay, so while I'm waiting on the chicken patties, the biscuits are all done. So while I'm waiting on the chicken patties, which I tossed in the oven also, just to make sure they really got that like crisp all around, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of the maple butter on the biscuits. I just cut the biscuit tops off. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting the maple butter on there. Let that start getting kind of melty. And then as soon as the chicken patties are done, I'll be adding that. Okay, so the chicken patties are finally done. Everything's done. And this is what they look like assembled. And let me tell you, these are super tasty. I used to love like various different fast food places would have like a type of like maybe like a honey type of chicken sandwich or something like that from a few different places that I would crave, and this definitely helps to satisfy that craving. And it's super easy, super low carb. Like I said, if you are doing more of like a strict keto thing, you can definitely substitute in your favorite keto biscuit recipe for the biscuits. If you are not, if you're like more like me and you occasionally do like dirty keto, lazy keto, or low carb, the Carbquik, I can't recommend it enough. It is definitely the closest thing I've ever tasted to just like regular flour. So yeah, comment down below and let me know if you end up trying this, and tell me what your thoughts are on it, if you loved it, you know, etc. If you have any other kind of like low carb breakfast sandwich things that you end up doing. I have a few others on the channel. So feel free to go check those out. Yeah, I love making biscuit sandwiches, and I've got a few more coming up. I'll show you some easy like hacks to put together some different like quick low carb breakfast sandwiches. And one of the things that I love doing is assembling them ahead of time, wrapping them in parchment paper and freezing them, so that the next time I really am just having like a lazy day and I don't feel like actually cooking anything, all I have to do is take those out of the freezer, pop them in the oven, and boom, you have a lovely low carb breakfast sandwich ready to go. So yeah, as always guys, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I upload more videos just like these. Thanks so much. Have a great one.